All right, let's jump right in, folks. Today we're diving deep into Roblox's Q4 2024 earnings call. They dropped some pretty significant numbers, and we're here to unpack it all.
Yeah, definitely a lot to cover. First things first, they absolutely smashed their guidance metrics. And not only that, they even hit those ambitious goals they laid out back in their 2023 Investor Day. So definitely a company that seems to be firing on all cylinders.
So let's break that down a bit. What do these metrics actually mean for Roblox's, bottom line?
Okay, well, to start, their revenue saw a huge jump, 32% year over year, landing just shy of $1 billion, actually. Bookings also saw a really healthy increase, up 21%. And daily active users, those are the people logging in every single day. Those grew by a solid 19%.
Those are some pretty impressive numbers, especially in such a competitive market like gaming. I mean, are they just riding that metaverse wave everyone's talking about? Or is there something more strategic going on here?
Oh, it's definitely more than just riding a trend. They've got a really clear vision, and they're not afraid to, make big moves to achieve it. One thing that stands out is their focus on grabbing a 10% share of the entire gaming content ecosystem.
Whoa, 10%. That's a pretty big goal. How are they planning to make that happen?
Well, they're investing heavily in areas that'll attract both creators and users. Like they're pouring resources into AI and their developer community, what they call DevX. It's all about making it easier and more rewarding for developers to create those amazing experiences on the platform.
Okay, attracting developers, got it. But what about keeping users engaged? Are they doing that?
Absolutely. One of their strong points has been personalizing that discovery process, meaning they tailor what users see based on their interests, making it way easier to find stuff they'll love. And it's working, especially in those emerging markets like India and Japan. They're seeing over 50% year-over-year growth in those areas.
That's a phenomenal growth rate. So it's not just about getting new users, it's about keeping them coming back.
Exactly, and they're doing that by constantly innovating, always introducing new features, and they're experimenting with new revenue streams too, things like paid access games and advertising. We're even seeing big brands like Amazon jumping in, and even Hollywood. They're using Roblox to promote those blockbuster movies.
Wow. Sounds like they're really diversifying their revenue streams.
Yeah.
But speaking of innovation, we got to talk about AI, right? Everyone's talking about it. What's Roblox doing with AI?
Oh, they're not just dipping their toes in, they're diving headfirst into AI. They're developing tools that could totally revolutionize how games are made. Imagine creating a 3D outfit for your avatar just by describing it. That's what they're working with.
That's wild. So they're not just using AI to improve existing processes, they're using it to fundamentally change how games are created.
Exactly. And this focus on cutting-edge tech, you see it in their infrastructure, too. They built this 3D streaming architecture, allows instant connection with 3D content, any device, anywhere in the world. They even boasted a 99.9999% uptime in December, which is almost unheard of.
Wow, that's some serious commitment to quality and performance. Sounds like they're going all out to create a truly immersive and seamless experience.
They are, and they're not just focusing on one type of game either. They're expanding into all kinds of genres, role-playing, sports, action, even battle royale. They want something for everyone, and they're making those investments to make it happen.
Sounds like they're building a really diverse gaming ecosystem. But what are some of the challenges they're facing as they expand into these new areas?
Well, with genres like Battle Royale, one challenge is ensuring that high-quality experience, even on low-end devices or in places with bad internet. But they're tackling that head-on, developing technology to deliver smooth gameplay regardless of those conditions.
That's impressive how they're anticipating these challenges and already working on solutions.
They get it. A seamless, high-quality experience is crucial for attracting and keeping users, especially as they move into these more demanding genres.
So, from what we've seen so far, it's clear Roblox is in growth mode, no signs of slowing down. But are there any potential roadblocks or challenges on the horizon?
Well, one thing investors are keeping a close eye on is the slight dip in daily active users from Q3 to Q4.
Okay, a dip in DAUs, that definitely gets people's attention.
Right.
What happened there? Anything to be concerned about?
It's probably a few things combined. First, they're up against some tough comparisons to last year. Remember when they launched on PlayStation? And saw that surge in activity on Xbox. Those were big wins, naturally boosted user numbers, so a slight dip now isn't totally surprising.
Right. Big launches always create those temporary spikes.
Exactly. And on top of that, they're facing some regulatory challenges in Eastern Europe, particularly Turkey.
Interesting. So both internal and external factors at play. But what about their core user base? Any signs of weakness there?
Not at all. Their core business is actually doing really well. Mobile and desktop bookings grew a strong 26% in Q4, which shows a healthy and engaged core. And even prepaid and console bookings, which had dipped a bit earlier, bounced back to 22% growth by December.
So it seems like that DAU dip might be more of a blip than a real problem.
Yeah, exactly. And it's important to remember Roblox is still relatively early in its journey, especially in markets like India, where they're seeing explosive growth. Plus, they're investing heavily in expanding their content library, attracting those developers who can create experiences for an even wider audience.
That's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in those short-term fluctuations, but it's important to keep the bigger picture in mind.
Totally agree. And the bigger picture for Roblox, continued growth and innovation.
Speaking of growth and innovation, let's talk about the developers in the Roblox ecosystem. They're the ones creating the experiences users love, so their success is crucial to Roblox's success. So what's Roblox doing to support those developers?
They're taking a multifaceted approach. First, they're prioritizing transparency, especially with their discovery algorithms. They're giving developers a look behind the curtain, showing them how to get their creations noticed.
That's smart. Empowering developers with knowledge creates a more equitable and transparent ecosystem.
Right, and on top of that, they're increasing the share of bookings that goes to developers, which is a huge incentive to create high-quality stuff.
It's a win-win. Developers get rewarded, and Roblox benefits from a thriving and motivated creator community.
Exactly. But it's not just about throwing money at the problem. They're also addressing developer burnout, encouraging a more iterative approach to game development.
Interesting. What does that look like in practice?
Instead of pushing for massive updates all at once, they're advocating for smaller, more frequent releases. This helps prevent burnout and fosters a more sustainable process, leading to better games and happier creators.
That makes a lot of sense, a more holistic approach to supporting developers.
Exactly. It's a long-term view of their relationship with developers, recognizing that their success is linked to the success of the platform as a whole.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk financials. They've been making some impressive moves to improve their margins and cash flow. What are some key takeaways from their financial performance?
Well, 2024 was a pivotal year for them. Their bookings finally caught up with those big investments they made in previous years, meaning they're starting to see a real return on that investment.
So they're finally reaping the rewards of those strategic bets they made.
Exactly. And that strong performance allows them to invest even more aggressively in areas that'll drive future growth, like engineering, trust and safety, and of course, the developer community.
A classic virtuous cycle. Growth fuels investment, which fuels more growth.
Right. And they're not just relying on their existing revenue streams either. They're exploring new avenues like advertising, which could become a significant part of their bottom line.
Yeah, I'm curious about their approach to advertising. They seem to be taking a more, measured and strategic approach than some other platforms.
They are. They understand that users don't want to be bombarded with annoying ads, especially in a game. So they're focused on integrating ads naturally, enhancing the experience rather than disrupting it.
It's all about that balance between making money and keeping the user experience good.
Exactly. And they're also using their platform to offer unique advertising opportunities, like sponsored experiences and partnerships with big brands.
Yeah, I've seen some really creative examples of brands using Roblox to engage with their audience in new ways. It's clear they're thinking outside the box when it comes to monetization.
They are, and it's working. They're seeing great growth in key metrics like bookings per DAU, bookings per hour, bookings per payer.
Yeah.
This suggests that users are finding real value and are willing to spend money on things they enjoy.
That's a great sign of a healthy and sustainable business model.
It is. And they're not just focused on maximizing profits either. They're also making moves to ensure fairness and transparency in their ecosystem. Like, they strategically adjusted Roblox pricing, aligning the amount of Roblox given with the cash received.
Sounds like a positive step towards a more equitable system for everyone.
Absolutely. It reinforces their commitment to transparency and fairness, which is crucial for building trust.
Speaking of groundbreaking stuff, let's talk about one of the most exciting aspects of Roblox's future. AI.
Oh yeah, their AI initiatives are truly pushing the boundaries. They're developing tools that could completely revolutionize how games are made, making it easier and faster for creators to bring their ideas to life.
It's almost like they're giving developers superpowers.
In a way, they are. They're using AI to automate tasks, enhance creativity, and empower developers of all skill levels.
One of the things that really caught my eye is their work on those generative AI tools.
Yeah, those have the potential to be absolute game changers. Imagine creating a 3D model or even code just by describing it.
It would be like magic. opening up a whole new world of possibilities for creators.
Exactly. Democratizing game development, anyone with an idea can bring it to life.
And they're not just dipping their toes in, they're all in. They even developed a 3D foundational model trained on their massive data set of 3D objects.
It really shows their commitment to pushing AI boundaries and their ability to use their unique data to create cutting-edge technology.
Sounds like they're building a powerful AI engine that'll fuel the future of their platform.
They are, and it's incredibly exciting to see how they'll continue integrating AI and empowering creators to build even more immersive and engaging experiences.
Their vision for the future of gaming is bold, and they're backing it up with big investments in innovative technology.
They're not just following trends, they're setting them. Their focus on innovation and their understanding of the gaming landscape make them a force to be reckoned with.
Can't wait to see what they come up with next.
Me neither. It's a journey worth following. Roblox is rewriting the rules of gaming, and their impact will likely go way beyond the virtual world.
It's so true. Okay, we've covered a lot here. Roblox is firing on all cylinders. Strong financial performance, a clear vision for the future, and a commitment to both innovation and responsibility.
They are, and they're not afraid to take risks and push those boundaries. But you know what? This is where things get really interesting. You know, a lot of people are wondering about their long-term strategy. Specifically, that ambitious goal of having 10% of all gaming content on their platform.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold vision. How do they plan to pull that off?
Well, it all comes down to creating an ecosystem that attracts both creators and users. We talked about their efforts to empower developers and expand into new genres, but they're also thinking about the bigger picture.
What do you mean by the bigger picture?
Well, they're recognizing that the future of gaming isn't just about those isolated experiences. It's about building interconnected worlds, where users can seamlessly move between different games and activities.
That sounds a lot like the metaverse everyone's talking about.
Exactly. And Roblox is positioning itself to be a major player in that space. They're building the infrastructure, the tools, the community, all the things that will make those interconnected worlds a reality.
That's fascinating. It's like they're not just building a gaming platform, they're building a whole new digital universe.
They are, and they're doing it with a deep understanding of what users want. A space where people can connect, create, and explore in ways that were never possible before.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities, but with all this talk about the future, it's easy to forget about the present. What are some of the immediate challenges Roblox is facing?
Well, one thing analysts are watching closely is the potential for increased competition. The gaming landscape is constantly changing. New players are popping up all the time.
That's true. It seems like everyone wants a piece of that metaverse pie. So how is Roblox differentiating itself?
They're focusing on what they do best, building a platform that empowers creators and fosters that strong sense of community. And they're investing heavily in technologies that will give them an edge, like AI and their 3D streaming architecture.
Sounds like they're not just sitting back, they're actively working to stay ahead of the curve.
They are, and that's one of the things that makes them so exciting to follow. They're not just reacting to the market, they're shaping it.
Okay, so we've talked about their vision, the challenges, and their strategies, but let's get back to the numbers for a second. We touched on their financial performance earlier, but I'd love to dig a little deeper.
Sure. What are you curious about?
Well, for starters, I'm curious about their profitability. Are they actually making money, or are they still in that investment phase?
Oh, they're definitely making money. In fact, they've been profitable for several quarters now. Their operating margin has been steadily improving, and their cash flow is strong.
That's a great sign. It shows they're not just growing fast, but building a sustainable business.
Exactly, and that strong financial position gives them the freedom to invest in growth without having to worry about, running out of cash.
That's a huge advantage in a market as dynamic as gaming.
It is, and they're being smart about their recourse allocation too, focusing on areas that'll drive long-term value, like user growth, developer engagement, and technological innovation.
Sounds like they have a solid plan, but no business is without risks. What are some potential headwinds that could impact their future growth?
Well, one of the biggest risks is the potential for regulatory changes. As the metaverse becomes more mainstream, governments are starting to pay attention. There's always a chance of new regulations that could affect their business model.
That's a valid concern. We've already seen some regulatory pushback in certain markets. How is Roblox navigating that?
They're taking a proactive approach, engaging with regulators and policymakers globally, educating them about the metaverse and the benefits of platforms like Roblox.
That's a smart move, being transparent and collaborative can help shape the regulatory environment.
Hopefully in a way that benefits their business and protects their users.
Another risk that investors are watching is, potential user fatigue. Roblox has seen incredible growth, but can they keep that momentum going?
That's a good question, but I think it's important to remember that Roblox is more than just a gaming platform. It's a social platform, a creative platform, a platform for learning. They're always evolving, introducing new features to keep users engaged.
That's true. They've expanded way beyond just games for kids. They're attracting users of all ages and interests.
Exactly. And they're also really good at fostering that sense of community. Users feel like they belong to something special when they're on Roblox. That's a powerful driver of engagement and loyalty.
Okay, so we've talked about the risks and challenges, but let's end on a positive note. What are you most excited about when it comes to Roblox's future?
Well, one thing I'm really excited about is the potential for AI. To transform the gaming experience. We talked about how they're using AI to empower developers, but they're also exploring ways to use AI to personalize the user experience, to create more realistic and immersive environments, and even generate new game content in real time.
That's incredible. Sounds like they're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
They are, and I think that's what makes Roblox so compelling. They're not afraid to push boundaries and experiment. They're constantly innovating and evolving, which is crucial in the tech world.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from financials and strategic initiatives to the risks and challenges. We've taken a real deep dive into the world of Roblox. But before we wrap up, I have one last question.
Sure, what is it?
What's one thing listeners should take away from this deep dive? What's the most important insight?
I think the biggest takeaway is that Roblox is more than just a gaming company. They're building a platform for the future of digital interaction and entertainment, a space where people can connect, create, and explore in ways never seen before. And they're doing it with a deep understanding of community, technology, and innovation.
That's a great way to put it. They're building the future one block at a time.
Exactly. It's going to be fascinating to watch them grow and evolve.
Speaking of the future, it's time for our favorite segment. This is not financial advice.
Oh, I love this part. Let's get wild.
All right, picture this. Roblox partners with a major music streaming service, like Spotify or Apple Music, to create a fully immersive concert experience in the Roblox universe.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Imagine attending a virtual concert with thousands of other fans from around the world. You create your own avatar, decked out in your favorite band's merch, interacting with other fans in a virtual mosh pit. And the best part, artists could reach a whole new audience.
That's brilliant. It's a win-win for Roblox and the music industry. And the monetization possibilities, virtual tickets, merchandise, even backstage passes. It's outrageous, but totally plausible.
Exactly. It's bold. But considering Roblox's track record, I wouldn't be surprised.
It would be a game changer for the music industry.
All right, folks, there you have it. Another wild but plausible idea. Remember, this is not financial advice. Do your own research and invest responsibly.
But it's fun to dream big and imagine the possibilities, right?
Absolutely. And that's what Roblox is all about, empowering dreams and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. It's pretty amazing to think about how Roblox is blurring those lines in between the physical and digital worlds. They're creating a space where, well, almost anything is possible.
Right. It's really what makes them stand out. They're not just copying the real world into a digital one. They're creating something totally new, giving people the tools to build their own worlds, their own experiences. It's amazing.
And they're doing it while understanding how important that sense of community is. It's not just a platform for individual creators. It's about collaboration, connection.
Absolutely. That's a key point. It's that community aspect that sets Roblox apart. Users aren't just playing games, they're building relationships, sharing ideas, creating together. It's a social experience just as much as it's about gaming.
And that social side of things, it's only going to get bigger as the metaverse evolves. It's all about those shared experiences, building these virtual worlds where people can, truly connect with each other.
For sure. And Roblox is already in a great position to be a leader there. They've got the tech, the users, and the vision to make it happen.
Okay, so we've talked big picture, the future, the metaverse. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second. What does all this mean for investors? What should they be watching for?
Well, I think the most important thing is to remember Roblox is a long-term play. This isn't a company looking for overnight success. They're building for the future. Their vision, it's going to take time to fully play out.
So patience is key.
Definitely. But it's also smart to track their progress. Are they hitting those milestones, getting new users and developers? continuing to innovate.
And are they hitting those financial goals? We've seen some great numbers, but can they keep it up?
All good questions for investors to consider. And of course, always do your own research. Talk to a financial advisor before making any decisions.
Great advice. So to wrap things up, what's the one key takeaway you want listeners to remember about Roblox?
I'd say Roblox is redefining what it means to play, creating a space where imagination has no limits, creativity is celebrated, and anyone can be a creator. It's not just about entertainment, it's about connection, collaboration, and community, all with a commitment to innovation, responsibility, and the future of the metaverse.
Well said. This has been a really incredible deep dive into Roblox. Thanks for joining us and sharing your insights.
My pleasure. Always happy to talk about a company pushing the boundaries like this.
And to our listeners, keep exploring, keep dreaming, and keep an eye on Roblox. Things are about to get very interesting.